In this video tutorial, Color Cord Company will show you how to wire a black medium bass basic socket. Here are the tools that you'll need, as well as the socket parts to perform this task. This is the shell of the socket, the part of the socket where you will screw in a medium bass light bulb. This is the cap of the socket, the part of the socket where you feed the conductor wires through and connect the ground wire. This is your terminal plate. It's where you'll be connecting the positive and negative conductor wires. Lastly, we have a cord grip, which prevents the cord and the socket from sliding after being wired. There are several different cord grip options you can use, but in this video we're going to use a standard cord grip. And while this video tutorial is showing how to wire a basic medium bass socket, these same steps will apply for a shade-ready socket and a shade-ready socket with extended threads. Alright, let's get started. First, measure about 1 1/4 inch from the tip of the cloth covered wire and wrap an inch of electrical tape over the wire. Now, over the midsection of the tape, strip the PVC housing to expose the 3 conductor wires. We recommend the use of our Color Cord 3000 stripping tool, but you can also use a standard razor blade. If you're not familiar with cutting and stripping electrical wire, you can check out our video on how to cut and strip cloth covered electrical wire. After removing the PVC housing, make sure that there are no cuts on the conductor wires exposing the internal stranded copper wire. Now take the conductor wires and strip one end of each wire to expose about 3/16 of an inch of the copper stranded wire. Using your fingers, twist the stranded wires together. The next step is to solder the copper stranded wire. While this step is optional, we highly recommend soldering the ends for a stronger and easier to manage contact point when connecting them to the terminals. If you don't have any soldering experience, you can check out the video Tinning Explained on the video page of our website. Once you're through with soldering and your copper stranded wires are tinned, it's time to start wiring your socket. Now you're going to take both pieces of your cord grip and twist it over the cloth covered wire. Be sure to bend back the prongs on the male insert to avoid fraying the cloth covering. The cord grip's threaded end should face the conductor wires. Now take the socket cap, flip it upside down, and locate the screw of the ground terminal. Loosen the screw to about 1/8 of an inch. Insert the ground wire through the top opening of the cap. Next, you're going to take your pliers and bend the exposed end of the ground wire to a 90-degree angle and insert the exposed section of the green wire into the ground terminal opening, which is under the screw. Make sure the exposed copper wire is completely inside the hole, then secure the wire in place with the screw. It should look like this. Take your terminal plate and locate the positive and negative terminal screws. With the head of the screws facing up, the brass positive terminal will be at the left and the silver negative terminal to the right. Loosen up both screws to open up the terminals. Now you're going to align the terminal plate with the cap so the black wire is aligned with the positive terminal and the white wire with the negative. Insert the exposed copper of the black wire into the positive terminal screw and the exposed white wire into the negative terminal screw. Once you make sure the exposed wire is all the way in, tighten up the screws to hold the wire in place. Pull the terminal plate towards the inside of the cap. It should sit into the fitted ridges inside of the cap. Now take the socket shell and align it with the long internal threads facing the cap and twist it into the socket. Once the socket is locked, slide the cord grip towards the socket. Twist the cord grip tightly into the socket. Lastly, take the cap of the cord grip and screw it onto the male insert part of the cord grip. And the results should look like this. You've just successfully wired a medium bass basic socket. To reiterate what was said at the beginning of the video tutorial, these same steps can be taken to wire a shade-ready socket and a shade-ready socket with extended threads. We hope this video helps you understand how to wire our medium bass black socket. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to us, and you can check out our other video tutorials at colorcord.com.